Today we are going to show an installation summary of a GreenSource HHO generator on a Jeep Liberty. GreenSource makes hydrogen generators for any engine from 1 to 16 liters in size. Our equipment works with any fuel type, gasoline, diesel, or LPG. Hydrogen alone typically offers 20 to 30% gains in fuel economy, but when used in conjunction with GreenSource electronic controllers, gains of up to 60% are more common. Installation of the generator is very simple, just by following the detailed instructions included in the manual. Most people do not need the help of a mechanic at all and can install it themselves simply using just simple tools such as these. When you unpack your generator, one of the first jobs you're going to have to do is to install the little small hose barb connectors, which adapt you from the tubing into the HHO generator. Just firmly push it into place, and then your next step is going to be install the little tubing connectors, as so. Just very, very lightly with your fingers until you feel a little bit of resistance. They spin down very easily at first until you feel a little bit of resistance, then stop. And then you have an upper and lower hose that'll go to your reservoir, but we're going to show you a little trick today. You can install the whole piece of tubing at one time. The connectors simply push in and rotate slightly, and then it's in place. And then it's just another half turn, maybe with your fingers, just finger tight, no tools, until it's firm. It doesn't rotate easily. And same on the other nozzle, just press firmly into place while rotating. And then what you can do now, when you do your installation, is you just run the hose pair up to the reservoir, which we'll show you how to install in a few minutes. One common mistake people make in an installation, we'll show you this before we even start, is routing of the hoses incorrectly. And most critical is the upper hose. When it's sitting in the vehicle, the lower hose is connected here, and the upper hose is here. If at any time this upper hose goes below the level of the nozzle, it'll lower the water level. The generator will no longer be full. It'll lower right down to here. It'll pump the water back up into the reservoir, and you'll have almost no water in the generator. In the worst case, if the hose went all the way down before it routed, the generator would empty right out and produce no output at all. So it's very important that any dry cell, the upper hose never goes below the starting point. To install the generator, you first have to locate a good spot down low in the vehicle that's going to be positioned below the bubbler. It's ideally up front and away from engine heat. The most common spot to install a generator is in between the radiator and the front grille, just like here. Now, the last important thing to note is the electrical connections. On the back, the polarity does not matter. Red and black, plus and negative, or reverse it, it's fine. But it's best not to let the generator touch any metal surfaces. That'll get in the way of the PWM controller later on. To access the space for the hydrogen generator, usually the easiest way is to just remove the grill, and it's often just a few simple screws here, here, and one on each corner. And I'll show you how easily and quickly this comes apart. And just be careful, there's often clips at the bottom, and it lifts out of place very easily. And from here, you can easily see the hydrogen generator. It's been secured in place, not touching any metal surfaces, in place by tie wraps. The upper hose never goes down in position. It only runs clearly and smoothly up to the bubbler at the top. And it's very important that the bubbler is always higher in position than the generator, and that the tubes flowing to the hydrogen generator flow as smoothly as possible without any high spots to create airlocks. The lower hose of the bubbler will go to the lower nozzle on the hydrogen generator. The upper hose on the side will go to the upper nozzle on the hydrogen generator, and the hydrogen produced comes out this very top tube on the bubbler here, and it runs down underneath the engine. And we've done something quite creative in this installation. We've actually brought it in through the air box, and we come in through here, up from underneath. We bring our hydrogen into here, and we're going to open up the air cleaner and show you how we did that. We didn't even have to make a hole anywhere for this installation. Just lifts easily out of the way. Remove the air filter and look inside, and there's where we bring in the hydrogen. And the wiring for the hydrogen generator is very simple also. Just the positive and negative wires from here are brought up in a pair up towards the battery, black and red, all the way up towards the pulse modulator, which is here. The pulse modulator has 4 wires. 2 shouldn't be extended. They should connect directly to the battery as shown here. The red wire is very simple. It goes to the fuse box, and we just used a simple fuse tap here to find a 12-volt source that turns on and off with the ignition. The last wire is the yellow wire, which is the hydrogen control. It controls the current going through the generator. It connects to the black wire of the hydrogen generator. The red wire coming up from the hydrogen generator goes through a 15 amp fuse and makes a direct connection to the battery. It's that simple. If you have any questions, just let us know. We provide full service and support before, during, and after the sale.